Oh, there we are. Hey guys, this is Chloe and this is WordStitch, and I'm joined today by Spence. Spence, you want to introduce yourself? Let's know what's going on with you.
Hi, I'm Spence. That's all.
I support that. Sandy is not joining us today. Sandy did have her baby on Tuesday. The baby is doing okay. I know she's mentioned on the show before that the baby has a birth defect. They are having some issues, but nothing disastrous so far. So she's not joining us today. It's probably going to be a few weeks before she's back, but we continue on. So today I am editing the end of the project that I actually finished a rough draft before Nano, that I did the first round of editing during Nano, which is the final book in my not Alien. This is a demon romance. Although this is now an angel romance. I don't know. It's one of those demon angel things. This book is an angel and somebody who we don't really know what he is, but he's kind of a little bit of everything. Spence, what are you working on today?
Today I'm working on some client work that I want to get done and my vampire Christmas romance.
Awesome. So we've got in-house today. Also, my computer equipment is all messed up, so I keep grabbing the wrong mouse because I'm setting up a new computer and I just have peripherals everywhere. But Devin is here. Hey, Devin. And Nikki is here. Hey, Nikki. Let us know what you guys are working on in comments. And in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and get our first sprint going at 5 past. I did not have any plans for what to talk about today. Is there anything you wanted to talk about today? Other than noisy children in the background.
I found today the greatest thing my friend sent me. It is a Hallmark romance partnered with KFC.
I saw that too. I thought it was a joke. Is it real?
I think it's real. I don't know if it's a whole movie, but I saw the trailer and I thought there's a trailer. I tweeted the trailer. Hold on, let me find it.
Oh my god. I had a friend who posted, I guess, a screenshot, or maybe it was a link to the trailer, but I was on my way somewhere and I couldn't take any time to look at it. But yeah, I saw it.
Like, even if it's just the trailer and that's like just the joke is just the trailer, it still fills me with so much joy.
Also weird feelings because sexy girl standards. So if you guys would like to see this, there it is. Spence, do you not have a wrench on this channel?
I don't know. Yeah. I also don't have the open. So
that link was gigantic. Let me see. Let me hop over there really quickly and see if I could get this link to go up, because it went in 2 separate parts and that's just not.
That's probably not sustainable.
There we go. Oh god, that's happening. Blind panic I go into every time. You know what's funny about this is that I'm usually signed into YouTube under me and not WordStitch, and I don't have a wrench for myself. YouTube under oh, stop that.
You should fix that.
Yeah. But of course it's that, like, yeah, no, I can't link it because it's too long. But I am going to use this first break since I'm editing and I can't really get much done in 10 minutes anyways. I'm going to hunt this down and I'm going to watch it for myself and I'm going to post it for everybody because, like I said, I didn't watch it and I should have. I also should have set up my timer and I haven't. So hold on one second.
Okay.
Okay, that is the wrong time. Oh, so some of the author tuber crew talked me into doing Twitch. So, oh, you know what? It's not even in the stuff for this stream, though. So, never mind. I'm going to bring it up in my next stream. We'll talk about that later.
Okay.
Tomorrow morning is what I mean by later, because I didn't even put it in the footnotes for this. Okay. All right. So, we are going to write for the next 10 minutes. It is 6 past because I got myself. Oh, thank you, Devin. Devin, always on top of that. We're going to go for the next 6 minutes. It is 6 past. So I will see you guys at 16 past. Ooh, wrong one. There we go. We are back, and that was amazing. It was so serious. It is a mini movie. It is 15 minutes long, and I love that when it's like a 3-minute preview for something that's 15 minutes. But yeah, totally worth it, and I love that it was Mario Lopez. And I decided I was going to do something really easy and just update my blog. I have book recommendations on my blog, and some of them are series recommendations. Like, I'm not going to do a review on every single book in a series. But I'll update it with the new books in it. And I was like, oh, I can do this really easy, no problem. And then for some reason, like, apparently in the last couple of months, Amazon affiliates has completely changed how they give you their codes. So nothing is lining up right. I'm like, okay, this is fun. I'll just recode the entire damn page. Whatever. I don't mind.
Wait.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways, I'll finish that in a minute. Also, it is that ridiculous Bullshifter series that every book, the cover is a little bit more ridiculous than the last. And this one, like, they didn't even try to get a good-looking guy for it. He absolutely just looks like a truck driver's apprentice. I can't even, I want to say he looks like a truck driver, but he doesn't look like he holds down a job that well.
Oh, that's so mean.
Yeah. Like, this is absolutely not a guy who was a male model. This is a guy who was like, yeah, whatever, I'll do some photo shoots. I don't care. We are now in December of the longest year of our lives. Nano is over. I don't know about you, but my Nano ran longer than it needed to, and now I am backed up on everything.
I ended up quitting Nano partway through because I couldn't. It was like the 18th, and I'm like, I can still write 3 drafts of this outline and then do 50,000 words in the next 12, 15 days. And said that out loud to in front of my husband. He was just like, don't.
Yeah. I am absolutely stunned, like, with the pacing that I was going and with the complete chaos that was last month for me. I'm absolutely stunned that I managed to hit 100K. I have no idea how I hit 100K. And like those last couple of days when I had good pacing, I had no idea how, like, I didn't feel like I was writing fast, and I didn't feel like I was writing for long enough increments of time. And somehow I hit 100K, but also I didn't finish that book, and that book should have been finished at around like 90K.
Yeah.
So that's also a problem. Problem to address later.
Yeah. Future me's problem.
What was that?
So that's future me's problem.
Yeah. Like when I try to figure it out, and it's funny because like how that's actually breaking down is it was the first book was just south of 45K, and of course the second book in the series I want to be right about that, so it should have been 90K, and instead it finished at like 105, which makes it, is that 65,000 and now I'm like, you know what, I might just have to like bring up the first book. That might, unfortunately, like, I was planning on making this a collection of shorter books, but I've said that like every single series I have ever written in my life. And because of it, I have these series that the first book is 30,000 and the last book is like 80,000. Like, sorry.
As long as
Yeah.
all your work, people will be like, I've come to expect it. This is the way it comes.
Yeah, this is what you get out of me. And apparently, like, market research says, as long as you don't go in the other direction, people are okay about it.
Like, I really like Lisa Kleypas, but I will trash her final books to the end of everything because they always let me down.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I agree. I 100% love Lisa Kleypas as well. And I always feel like when she started, I feel like part of her problem is that because her books don't actually follow the same plot arc, they don't, like, that last book is always going to be the weakest one because she already used the good ones, and it's not like they're actually building up to anything.
Yeah, and they should to some degree. Like,
yeah.
I don't know which ones you've read, but I've read like the Wallflowers and the Hathaways. I love the Hathaways ones. Like, those ones make me laugh so much. And then the
Ravenels.
No, not those ones. I'm trying to think of what she calls, like, she did modern ones.
I don't read her modern stuff.
Oh, the first one in it, it's called Sugar Daddy, is actually just a really good book. Like, you don't meet the character's actual love interest until like after the midpoint, basically, and you still like believe it and buy it. And it's really good, but the last one is always just so there's too much happiness around these people.
Yes. Yeah.
That was my biggest problem with the last of the Hathaway books, is that, like, this was a character.
Was that the one where he was he was coming back from war and she was like making up the letters?
Yeah.
That one? Okay. Yeah, that one definitely was a flop for me as well. And again, after like the first couple were so dramatic, and then I just wrote him letters and he thought I was somebody else.
Right. And like, in all the other books, that character has been portrayed as like super damaged and traumatized because of all of the shit in her childhood. And like, that's just not addressed. It's referenced slightly once that she's a kleptomaniac.
Yeah.
Not ever.
Yeah, all of this stuff, and he's like, okay, thanks. Cool.
Right? Just let her be.
I feel like the Wallflowers were the same way. I feel like the Wallflowers, I don't remember who the last one was in that, but I remember like everything before it was like super dramatic, and like the like crossing country lines to illegally elope and shit like that. And
then like getting shot and getting kidnapped. And this one is just like, I think the last one was Daisy, and her love interest was just a giant plot hole. That's how I remember it.
I don't either.
His name was like Matthew Swift, and he was pretending to be the son of some rich dude. Yeah. I can't use my mouth to make words.
That's fair.
I have no idea how any of the drama around it resolved itself. Like, off page. I have no idea what happened there.
And then, do I remember right that like the second book of the Hathaways, literally you have a train that crashes into a river and they have to like rescue everybody out of it?
No, that's either a different series or that's like the first one in the Wallflowers where the locomotive's shop catches fire. Like, very dramatic and exciting, and then all of a sudden it's just like, okay.
Yeah, and then out of nowhere it's like, all right, we're just gonna do we're gonna have like a lovely holiday to the beach, and that's gonna be the entire book.
If you don't count, there's one called A Wallflower Christmas that's like about one of the sister's brother falling in love with somebody, and now it is just so wholesome and pure and cute. It sets it up for what it's supposed to be, and I'm not disappointed, but it's not.
Whereas if you go into oh gosh, what is her name? Courtney Milan's, her historical romance, her Christmas one is like, I'm the world's first female doctor, revere me. Okay, let's go ahead and do our next sprint. It is 27 past, so that is going to take us to, oh gosh, math, 37, 47. 7 of? Is that math right? That's weird. Anyways, we will 8 of. There we go. We will see you guys then. Happy productivity. Okay, that is time. I did get a little bit of work done. I did not actually finish editing a scene though, and that's okay. We did have some people join us. Hey Turtle and Hey Meadow and Hey Shadow's Lair.
I got about
how did you do, Spence?
250 words on my 241 on my client work, which is halfway done with this one. So I might be able to turn it in tomorrow.
Yeah. Yay. I did a little poking around in that break. So the book that I was thinking of that has the train derailment in it is the first book of the Ravenel series. And the second book of that, there is, in Wallflowers, there is a train tycoon in that, I believe. So that might have been what you were thinking of. But no, Ravenel's has, the second book in Ravenel's is absolutely like top 3 favorite books by Lisa Kleypas. So I recommend that series. It's a longer series. It's weird because it seems like they kind of forget his sister and then like she comes back around several books later. It's really funny how the series is written. But yeah, so I recommend the Ravenels. The other thing is I felt like I needed to justify my description of these book covers. So everybody brace yourselves because there's about to be a bunch of man chest because of paranormal romance covers. Let me flip the screen. Okay, so the first one is the first book in the series. This is the book, these are the Bullshifter writers, where I said that the last book in the series, it kind of looks like he's a wannabe truck driver. The first book of the series is this. If it will pop up. There we go. Okay, so she normally has really good covers. So when this happened, I was like, what is going on here? Because like there's this weird like wholesome look about him. And then of course, because they're bull shifters, I don't know. The bull does not add anything to it. So like the first one was already a little weird. And then we get to the second one, which arguably is valid, I would say. He's got this weird confused look on his face, and the cow still looks ridiculous. But he's kind of posed in the right way. He doesn't have a wholesome look to him, which was weird on that first one.
Yeah, the first guy looks like a deer in headlights. This guy looks more like, what the hell is that other one doing?
It's almost like he knew that one day his stock photo was going to be next to a cow. But other than that, sorry, I'm going to expand my emails right now. But other than that, okay, I accept it. And then we get to the most recent one.
Well, there's no more bulls, so is that a step in the right direction? There's no more random cow.
I don't.
Are those real tattoos of his, I wonder?
You know what? I was going to say, I feel like they're fake, but perhaps this is why he was picked.
Yeah, like those, like he took those pictures to like model the tattoos, and they somehow ended up on the free stock photo website.
Right. Like, can I scroll up? Like he expected to be showed from like about this point.
Yeah.
And so he was like, well, I don't care about my hair, or he looks like he's been in
my face is doing.
Yeah, we're not gonna like do anything to clean him up anyways. Okay, that is enough of that.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but again, like if you look at her covers, normally they are very, I mean, they're shifter romance. Like there's only so much.
There's a very narrow definition of good.
Yeah. Like it's absolutely gonna be a shirtless dude with a bear or whatever. But there's certainly some that are better than others. Yeah. They usually at least look professionally done. So sorry for that little road trip that I just took here, everybody. But if you watch this show regularly, you know to occasionally expect a little road trip like this. Also, Sandy sent me like 20 texts during that last sprint and then was like, "Oh, you're doing the show right now, aren't you?" like Sandy, I realize you're having like massive life issues right now. And I appreciate that. And I'm sorry you're going through that. But also,
we're going to laugh at you when you do stuff like this.
Yeah. Also, this is like the 2 hours out of the week that you absolutely know that I'm not available. And you're missing this cover. Don't worry. Like once Sandy's on solid ground again, she will be getting a screenshot of that cover. She will be getting this from me as well. She also gets like screenshots from lines in that book because the book is absolutely the most ridiculous thing ever. That whole series, I love it. It's insane. But
I just watched today there's a other content creator called Dominic Noble who does like Lost in Translation and funny reviews. He just did one today for a book series. I'm like, I don't know if I want to read this, but it's all my favorite things. It's like time travel and vampires and like Scotland.
What was it? What was it?
He's called Lachlan.
Do you know who the author is?
No, but during the next one, I will find it.
I think
I'll do it right
now. Read it.
He does really good, thorough reviews of books, and like his
of trashy romance.
Yes, like not just trashy romance, but it is a thing he does. Hazel Hunter.
Yes, I have absolutely read them. It was my first foray into the time travel plus supernatural. So Karen Marie Moaning does a much better job with her Into the Highland Mist series, I think it's called. But those Hazel Hunter ones are on Kindle Unlimited if you have Kindle Unlimited. And the first like 4 of them, I'd say, are pretty good. And then it just gets like ridiculous. But I did read like 4 of them. And if I had started with Karen Marie Moaning, I probably would have been like meh about them. But I did enjoy them for my first foray into that genre.
Wait, did you say her last name is Moaning?
Yeah, Moning though. But she's also, I'm surprised you don't know her because she's got a super popular vampire series as well.
I've been really out of her for a while.
Okay.
Like basically I got really complacent when I worked at the library for like 5 years. And then as soon as I stopped working at the library, I was like, what are books? What's the new book? I'm just going to read the same 10 I have over and over again.
Understandable. I have been there as well. I haven't actually read her vampire stuff, only that time travel / they're immortals. They're not vampires, and hers are just immortals. And I believe there is a god in it as well, like a Puck-like character. But she also like eventually it gets brought back up to the modern time where like one of the mortals, like obviously they have all now gotten back to the modern time. So I really liked all of the books I read in that series. I don't know if I actually finished it because I was reading it while it was being published, but yeah, I highly recommend that one.
I will have to check it out.
Yeah. And they were really good about like how messed up it would be actually going back to that time frame. She didn't die of diphtheria or anything that would actually happen, but there was a whole lot of like, I have absolutely no idea where I'm supposed to poop right now. Which, is
that is a relevant question. Like
exactly. Like this is a very real thing that's gonna happen when you go back in time 1,000 years and like what exactly was the deal back then, So yeah, and like you don't want to be like, hey, where do I do this? Because then they're gonna be like, well, you're a witch. So All right, so we are gonna do our 30-minute sprint. It is 3 after, so we will see you guys at 33 past. Happy productivity. Okay. That was our big 30. Let us know how you did in comments. I was better that time. I got less distracted, but I did answer some texts.
I did pretty okay. I got distracted with my husband coming home from work. But I got 242 that time. Which
awesome. That's only slightly lower than you did the last time, right? So oh, that's right. That's right. You threw a bunch of random numbers at me before you settled on the actual number.
So I'm
I have had in this edit, so this is the second edit on this book, and there have been two things that, so this is the fourth book in this series. There's going to be two novellas. One is a prequel, and one is starting up the next series. That is going to be 12 books total. And then there's probably going to be one final book at the end. So there's like a massive series in front of me. Because I'm stupidly one of those people that, like, once I latch onto a pattern, I'm like, I have to follow that pattern. So the next books are all going to be named after the astrological signs. And therefore, literally just because of like some random thing that I saw a couple years back that I thought was really pretty. And I was like, I'm going to use this for a book. Here I am now with a 20 book series. Anyway,
be a beta or an alpha reader on your Virgo one.
I mean, you're welcome to. Although I'm actually going to be using the moon signs in it, though. Like, it's still going to be that, but it's like what your moon is in, not what your sun sign was.
About that. I just think it's funny because I am a Virgo and I married a Virgo. So I have a lot of experience in Virgo relationships.
So this series, like, you know, there are things that, like, I know where that final wrap-up book is going to be. Like, I have not figured out all of the books in between, but I have that, like, rough idea of what the, like, final battle, so to speak, is for it. And as I've done this edit on this book, I've had two random either typos or just, like, something that was kind of a weird red herring in it that I wrote and then I never did anything with, that the two of them together has figured out something that's going to be in that last book.
Ooh.
And I'm like, that was really weird and random. Like, one of them literally was, I did 7 + 7 = 13. And now I'm like, oh, but maybe one of those is actually 6. And now I know who the villain of the entire series is. And he was a guy that I never expected to be the villain of the entire series. So Shadow got 2 more calculus problems done. I remember those days of calculus problems taking like 10, 15 minutes a pop. I was a physics major. I've been there. And then like calculus was even worse because I had already learned how to do Calc 3 in physics class before I took Calc 3. And in math class, they hated how I did everything, even though I was like, but this answer is correct. So I get
the farthest I ever got in math was I took pre-calc twice. Like once in high school and once in college. And that's just because I took my ACT before I took pre-calc. So they were like, okay, we're going to put you in algebra 2. And I'm like, no, you will not. I will die before I take that class again.
Yeah.
So I had to like take a test to prove like I am smarter than my ACT that I had to take as a junior. But I still had to take pre-calc twice, which is fine. I'm fine with this. This is not algebra 2. You're respecting my knowledge.
Yeah.
But the final exam for pre-calc was 9 questions. And it was like 9 or 10 questions. And it took me literally 8 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. We went to, it was an online course and I had to go to the main campus. So like my mom drove me for 45 minutes and I sat in this room unaware of time passing for literally 8 hours while I took this test. And when I got my grade back, I got a 99% on it and I literally screamed.
Nice.
I went from having a C to an A because of that. And I was like, yes.
So with physics 3, so with physics 1 is going to be mechanics. Physics 2 is going to be electricity. And then physics 3 is going to be like the really, really meaty Newtonian physics, which is still kind of mechanics, but it's a lot more crazy. So I don't know if these things exist anymore at all, but when I went to college, we had blue books that we put our answers into, and they were like these books that were probably like this big, maybe a little bit bigger. And they probably had, I don't know, probably like 20 pages in them of just like regular ruled. I don't remember if it was wide ruled or college ruled. But like, this is what any sort of essay. So like, you would have like your Scantron, and then you would have your essay thing for if you were taking a class that would have had that format of tests. So for Newtonian mechanics, we would have like 4 questions per test, and the professor would give us 4 blue books. Like each blue book was another question. And it was as bad as it sounds, except like I was a physics major and I loved physics, and I especially loved Newtonian physics. My problem with physics is I'm not good with the electricity side of it, but any sort of mechanics, even if it's like solid state mechanics or like what is it called? When you're getting close to the sun, mechanics loses its shit when it gets close to the sun, but or like to black holes and stuff like that. But anyways, astrophysics, there we go. I love doing all of that, but man, you would get that book and you'd be like, oh no. And there would always be something that they would be doing to like a chicken. Like there would always be, I don't know, physicists have a real weird sense of humor. So there'd always be like a chicken orbiting the earth, or a chicken falling to earth, or a chicken on a spring that's going from like, that goes through the center of the earth, and you have to figure out like what the velocity of the chicken is as it nears the center. Like, what? Why y'all doing this to this chicken?
Okay.
Yeah.
Ugh, poor chicken. Poor theoretical.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a weird. Yeah, that's what's life. That's what life is like. Is a physics major. But yeah, I had to take Calc 1 twice, and I regretted that because I crashed and burned my first semester of my sophomore year, and I would have already been done with math if I had not taken Calc 1 twice. But they would not let me take the what are the tests you take in high school to get out of classes?
And we just called it testing out.
Now there's that test though that you get, AP tests, where you get actual credits. My mother wouldn't let me take the AP test because she wasn't going to pay $80 for me to take a stupid test. Which of course, that $80, you're talking about 4 credits. That's a big. $80 saves you so much money. And also, I would have been done with math, and I wouldn't have had to do Calc 3 twice because I wouldn't have been stuck in that nightmare when I was having my like nervous breakdown my sophomore year of college.
Yeah. And now you write romance novels.
Now I write romance novels. I write romance novels because I actually wanted to be an art major. And my mother said if I was going to be an art major, then she was just going to go ahead and get me some applications to McDonald's because they would absolutely not support me in any way if I went to art school.
Rude.
So I majored in physics instead. And the thing with physics is that, like, I was good at it, but I wasn't great at it. And I was never going to be something amazing at it. And I'm just one of those people that if I was going into that field, I would need to be amazing, and I'm not. I'm much happier being a mediocre paranormal romance author.
I went to school for like 2.5 years before like finances crashed and burned and it was bad time. But I was going to art school and I was on a hard track to burn myself the hell out.
What were you what was your concentration?
I had 3.
Oh God. That sounds bad right there.
Yeah, like I got in there and I started studying art history, which was like my main one because I was too insecure about my art skills to actually like do art, and I really loved it. And then I got into the art management minor, which is about running galleries and stuff. I'm like, oh, I really like doing this. I'm going to do this too. And then I was taking my art classes and I'm like, I really like this too. I'm going to do all 3 as my majors. And the counselor was just like, really? You're going to need 9 minors.
No, don't do that.
Yeah. I got a lot out of the like classes I did take. I'm not academically minded enough to really pursue art history, like to be an art historian, because there was just some stuff I cannot understand. Like the connection between like what is analysis and what is summary there is no differentiation in my brain.
Gotcha.
Which has been a problem my whole life. And it wasn't until my art history teacher was like, you're bad at this, that I believed it was a me problem and not just bad English teachers.
But the good news is that you're aware of it. And I feel like that is a big problem that we have in a lot of things right now, is that people are not aware of the things that they're bad of. Or bad at. Like I am bad at my prepositions, apparently. Bad at, not bad of. Let's go ahead and get this last writing sprint in. on that grammatical flub. I'm a great writer, I swear. Okay, we're gonna write for the next 10 minutes, and it is 47 past. So we'll see you guys at 3 of. Okay. That was our final sprint. Let us know how you did. I got a scene finished, so I feel good about that.
I got my work finished.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
We both accomplished stuff. I'm hoping that I'll be able to finish this tonight. That'd be really super cool.
Now I get to work on some other points tonight. My Vampire Christmas Romance.
Yes. And you are still in the outlining mode or the plotting mode of that?
Yeah, I'm kind of excessive with my outlines. So I've got the beat sheet down, and now I'm going through and doing like chapter by chapter what I expect to happen in each one. And then I'm going to do like 2 to maybe 3 drafts of that before I start drafting.
Okay. It wasn't excessive until then. I was like, yes, I don't use beat sheets, but I respect that. And I do, like, I don't use beat sheets, but what I will do is I will take a guess as to about how many scenes it is, and then I'll like where I know certain things should happen, I'll kind of flag those and get those major spots filled in first, and then I'll fill everything else in around it, which is how I theoretically keep my novel length under control, but obviously that fails miserably for me. So yeah, so I guess I use beat sheets, but like mentally, I acknowledge beat sheets and then I build my outline around what my brain says is a beat sheet. But then I just write the damn thing at that point.
Yeah, I'm not very confident in my storytelling abilities, and the excessive use of outlines like reinforces certain things about me, but in a pot about my like not good at the structure process, but in the opposite way of like telling me I'm bad at it, I keep adding like good stuff to the outlines. So it positively reinforces the bad behavior because of my lack of faith in myself.
Right. I just found out the other day from one of the groups that I'm in. I had no idea, probably like everybody knows about this except me, but I had no idea that there are people out there who just write outlines and sell them. Like I had no idea that was a career. Like it's an invert.
I want that job.
Say that is it's like an inverted ghostwriter. Like it's like a ghostwriting process, but the name that goes on the book is the person who actually writes the draft, as opposed to the outliner, who is usually I don't know.
I've done something like that before. Like I was a ghostwriter on a nonfiction project, but really what she wanted was like a glorified outline that was like just, she called it doing the legwork for her. And I was like, I will take this high paying job.
What was the subject for it? I'm just trying to wrap my brain around how this would work. What was the subject for it?
I think it was like natural health, like natural healing and stuff, like how to integrate natural healing without going to the Kool-Aid.
Okay. So was it like she gave you a pile of research for you to arrange for then her to write? Okay.
It was just like, here is stuff. Here are my thoughts. I have 10 pages of notes. Make me 75 pages of outline. And I was like, yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I like that. I like that concept for nonfiction a lot.
Like it takes her so much time in actually putting it together. And
yeah.
Also, I really liked her, and it was really fun learning about all that.
Well, and it helps for somebody who's not a writer because they're not as naturally in tune to how to have like a narrative flow, even in nonfiction. So yeah, I really like that concept. That sounds like a good project.
It was a really good paying job. She was a very easygoing person to work for. It was like a 10 out of 10 experience, aside from
Right.
the day I went to turn it all in and half of my files corrupted. And I was like,
Always, always. That is always how that's going to work.
like I turned in five files and I was meant to turn in 6 and didn't realize I'd missed one. And then she was like, the first one seems a little bit lean, but I can go with it. I'm like, it's not the word I would use to describe my first one. Let me see what this is. I'm like, no, it didn't save right. Computer magic, computer magic, computer magic. And I saved it.
Thankfully, we're kind of in a post lose everything world. Like, it is so rare. I have had so many this year alone, just like flipping between programs. I have lost so much crap that actually at the end of the day, I had to do some stupid bullshit, but I was able to recover it in some format.
Mm-hmm. Like Control Z works on every part of your computer now.
Yes. Well, I just started using DaVinci, the video editing software, and there was a point in that it's like it's pretty much professional grade, but it's free. It's really weird. But because of that, the learning curve is out of control on it. And the last time I did anything with movies or with videos, it would have been like 10 years ago, Windows Movie Maker. Back when Windows,
so much.
it was so good. I would do like,
oh, dude, why did they take it away?
But yeah, so I'm like, I literally get stuck on the fact that like I cannot find an undo button anywhere on this. And then finally I'm like, let me just do a little experiment. Control Z, done. Like, all right, cool. I don't even need to know where the undo button is. I will just Control Z forever. Yeah. So Jason got 97 and finished a scene. The Shadows Lair has one more problem to review, and then you're done studying because you're burnt. I get that. Also, you love pineapples. Thank you for saying that because I forgot that I was still a talking pineapple until I saw that message. And Nikki was making a Christmas list on Amazon for her mom to pick out what she wants to get you. This is the first year in like a decade my mom has not been up my butt about what I want for Christmas. And of course, like I have this massive list because I have this new computer sitting next to me that I'm missing like cables and monitor and stuff like that for, that I have them all sitting in my wish list. Oh, and a Wi-Fi card for it. So I've got like everything picked out. And now, of course, this is the year that my mom is not like, what do you want for Christmas?
Yeah, I do something like that with my husband where he's like, I'm very fond of being surprised. I like surprises. They are good things. Mm-hmm. But he likes having like wish lists. So I'm like, all right, well, here's the list of 52 items I would be happy to receive.
That is perfect.
And I think it's like September, like right after our birthdays. So like I forget what's on the list.
Even better.
Right.
I really don't get Christmas presents for that many people. I don't know. I don't have any kids in my life. And you know, I've got one brother. He doesn't have any kids either. We're not close. So it's really just like my roommate gets a Christmas present from me. And probably at some point I see some random thing at the store that I'm like, this will be perfect for that person. And that person will just randomly get a Christmas present from me. But yeah, so with my roommate and I, we're the same, like just stumble upon something and that'll do. I just got an email today that I was like, oh, that item in that email, he's probably within earshot of me. So that item in that email, that's what he's going to get from me right there. And it's going to be really dumb, but he's going to have a good laugh at it.
Yeah, I'm pretty extra about Christmas presents. Like I've got...
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I love Christmas. This year is probably like the weirdest one for me because last year I started Christmas shopping in January.
Oh,
This
so
year I did.
January 2019, you started shopping for Christmas 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. I used to work music festivals, and I would always, by the end of that run, which of course it would be spring through fall, but like starting in the spring, I would see something, I'd be like, all right, that's what I'm getting for that person. And yeah, so I always had that massive pile, but by the time I even got to like September for Christmas as well, but not anymore. And then this year we didn't leave the house, so
right, like last year, most of the presents I got people were stuff I picked up at the secondhand shops because it's like perfect.
yeah.
And this year I've gone to the secondhand shop like 3 times, and every time I was so sad, I just bought stuff for myself. Like I bought a 1965 Polaroid camera. Like my dad doesn't, but he has no space, and it's mine.
There you go. Perfect. Except not perfect because you still need to get Christmas presents for people.
Mm-hmm.
And Sako says that everybody close to her, all the close people in her family have winter birthdays. And that is double shopping for everybody. Yes.
Yeah.
That I know plenty of people like that. And now Sandy just had her baby on the 1st. And my roommate's girlfriend is expecting the first week of January. So I'm now suddenly acquiring. Also, a bunch of my friends in college. I have 4 friends in college whose birthdays were Christmas week. That was weird, and I felt bad for all of them.
Maybe your roommate's girlfriend will get lucky and be like the first baby born in the hospital that year.
Right. Normally you get a prize for that. And plus she'd be a week early, and that sounds pretty good in my book.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well,
point of like out of me.
Yes. Our time is up, and my cat is yelling at me to let him out. So I'm going to end the broadcast here. Spence, you want to do your outro?
I don't really have one, but
that's fair.
I'm Spence. I make videos on YouTube sometimes about whatever the hell I want. I also document the crazy creative shenanigans I get into on my Instagrams. I have 2 at A Basic Absurdity, where it's mostly just like vintage inspired selfies and bread with no distinguishing features between the two. And then I have my art Instagram, which is at uncanny.artistry, where you get to see all of my creative, artsy shenanigan stuff, including like the cactus zombie. I do that stuff.
I think that was a pretty good outro. I am Chloe Alice Balkin, and I am the same as I am every single one of these sprints that I do. I do have a Twitch account, but I haven't put it into my footer yet. So one day, if you are on Twitch, please hunt me down. But it is not today because I don't have a link for you guys. So this week, I am going to be streaming every single day, Monday through Friday. So today was Monday. Tomorrow I'll be here at 8 a.m. Eastern. Wednesday I will be here at 8 p.m. Eastern. Thursday I will be 10 a.m. Eastern. And Friday I am 8 a.m. Eastern because I have to have the most complicated schedule known to mankind because of who I am as a person. But I have a night sprint on Wednesday, and then I've got early sprints on Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So come visit me and get more writing done and possibly see more really bad shifter romance book covers because that's the kind of program I run. You guys all have a great day, and thank you for joining us.